And my
course.
second name is Kohre.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I think we're rather lucky to have you here.
I hope so. We'll see how we go.
Yes.
Ray and his father lived in this area, is that correct, Ray?
Yes, my family's always lived here and farmed here since farming began in the district. And my father ran it before me and my younger brother. We've run it since, on and off, sometimes together. It's me, just me at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, this is sheep and cattle farming territory. Now becoming Manuka honey, perhaps Manuka oil country as well. So we'll see which one wins out.
Good.
Yeah.
And how did the land was obviously your family land right from the
Yes.
start, and how was it accessed in those days?
Well, very early on, it was only accessed by boat or canoe or along the beach.
Yes.
And in the 1920s or so, we had a road put from the Te Aroha township that reached halfway,
Yep.
and up until the mid to late 60s, that's the only access up the beach from that point on. But at that time, we had a road that completed the circuit. The last bridge along the first river from here in 1968. So 1968 was when we consider we were connected to the outside world,
Yeah.
but that connection's quite tenuous. We lose it from time to time. This year we've been closed for 7 weeks in 2 different occasions with flooding in February and March. February and April, sorry.
Yes. Yes.
So we were closed in
yeah.
during that time, and we were serviced by our helpful neighbours on the other side of the slips around the beach, or by a civil defence helicopter.
Oh, great! I was going to say the
yeah.
helicopters. Yes,
So we're used to being isolated, but we're not so much used to being isolated these days, because we do have the power, we do have telephone, we do have a road of sorts, and we've just recently got the mobile phone connection and fast broadband.
Okay.
So we've caught up to the 20th century.
Oh, great!
As opposed to the 21st. Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah.
Amazing. Was that your wife we would have seen
That was my wife.
cutting gorse?
Come to see, yes it was.
Yes, okay.
Cutting thistles, chicken thistles.
cutting
Came to see what
thistles.
was taking me so long with my sheep.
I see. Oh, and that was her in the van.
That was her.
Oh, right.
Or she thought I might need a hand. But
Yeah, that was nice.
I told her what I was doing and she didn't want to be on camera.
Oh,
Ray, how many horses you got here?
There's about 30, Ian.
Oh,
Probably about 20 too many, or 20 more than I would like to have,
yeah.
including the young ones. And I can see some of those mares are about to drop new foals, so it sort of adds to the...
Yeah. Is there is a season for foaling?
Around about now.
Must be,
Yeah, through-
because
yeah.
I did see the odd
Yeah.
little one along the way.
They'll start
yeah.
dropping now, the ones that are going to come. Yeah.
and how many sheep you running, Ray?
We're in the process of cutting back on all my stock. We might be letting the running of the farm go to others in the family,
Yeah.
and so we have run up to 2,500,
Yeah.
but now we're down to about 2,500,
Oh, okay.
not including lambs. But we still run about 120 cattle and
Yeah.
and replacements. But I can tell you a bit about the history of the lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
please.
was first set up on the island offshore.
Oh, what's the name of that island?
Well, Captain Cook called it East Island.
Yes.
Its old name is Whangaokeno.
Oh, spell, please.
WHANGAOKENO.
Yes. Okay. Got
Now
it.
we also call it Whangaokena, which is the same name with an A on the end.
Okay.
Depends whether you're being formal or not.
All right.
So that's
interesting.
East Island, and the lighthouse was set up there, and it first shone its lights proper in August of 1900, and then it was one of the hardest stations in New Zealand to service, and the erosion started to affect the island and stability of the lighthouse site and other buildings. And so they made the decision to move it to the mainland, and it moved over here in 1923 or 22, 23 I think. But it came minus the bottom story. They unbolted all the plates that make up the lighthouse, and the bottom story is still, most of it, some are actually on my neighbour's property, but some of those plates are just stacked on the island still, so that would have been another 4 metres or so that the lighthouse stood higher than it is now. But it's on a much higher
Yeah.
site
Yeah, it's a
anyway.
higher point, yeah.
And so there were 2 keepers' families. The houses are now gone. One was dismantled, and our neighbour down halfway back to Tauranga bought the other one for removal. And that arrangement with actual keepers manning the lighthouse and the lighthouse station ended in 1985 out here, and progressively around the country, as you probably know.
Yes.
So 85 was the time it was automated. And so the house was surplus, most of the land was surplus, and they offered it back to us because it was taken under the Public Works Act, but we had to buy it back. And most of the value was in the then almost brand new house for the keeper. And so just to help our family manage the cost of it, my wife and I, bought the house in our own name with a license to occupy the land that the family paid for. So, yeah, it's been a full circle.
Yes.
It used to be run powered by diesel engines, list of motors. There are 3 in what the shed we used to call the powerhouse. Even though the mains power came here in 1971, the hills from Tiki Tiki, they kept the motors going just as a backup. And then when it was automated, they got rid of 2 of the motors and just left 1 as a backup. Then eventually they put that Lister diesel motor up in the base of the lighthouse as a backup to the solar panel driven light that they put there by then. And now that motor has been taken out, it's all solar power backup, all computerised, run from Wellington.
Wow.
Ray, is there another name for the lighthouse besides East Cape Lighthouse?
No, that's the name of it.
It's always been East Cape Lighthouse.
East Cape Lighthouse.
Yeah. I thought it might have been some nice Maori name or something.
No, we didn't. We named the hill.
Yeah.
There was a name on the hill. The hill is called Otiki.
Otiki.
The lighthouse is on Otiki Hill, but that name was there long before the lighthouse.
Okay.
O-T-I-K-I?
Yes.
Yeah. Leaving the East Cape Lighthouse, and they've had lots of rain, so of course there have been many slips, and it was a bit traumatic coming in because I was on the drop side, and yeah, it was scary, but it's a glorious day, and we've done what we came to do, and we've got photos and the drone film at the last minute because see what I mean? Anyway,
Here's a good one.
here's a good one. And just as Ian had the drone up, a chopper came through. So luckily there was no collision.